I would like you to meet Marcus. He is 30 years old, recently diagnosed with cancer. His doctor said that with consistent therapy and healthy lifestyle he could overcome this. Now, I'd like you to meet John. John is 70 years old and has also been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Since the treatment started, John has been very consistent, never missing a treatment therapy, and has always lived a healthy lifestyle. 1 year later, guess what? John died. Marcus had fully recovered. But, why is it that way? Let me introduce you to David Sinclair, a genetics professor in Harvard University. He explains that the true reason of why people die is not because of the disease itself, rather because of the age, which makes you more vulnerable and weak to resist upon it. David also explains in his TED Talk, A Cure for Aging. He says,
unless we do something to keep the elderly healthy and productive, the cost is going to crush national infrastructures and our way of life. Our economies are going to fall.
All of this has been evidently shown with the pandemic situation that we are living. It is certain to say that coronavirus has taken control of our lives. Stores, restaurants, events, and public institutions have suspended their roles in society, and are all gone. Economies also have fallen. Not to say that to this day that I am doing this video there are over 3.7 million cases and over 250,000 deaths worldwide, so I was curious, and found out that most of the people that died were upon the elder community. What a coincidence, isn't it? Even though this is all clearly shown, the World Health Organization agrees that aging is one of the biggest problems of our generation, but what you don't know is that a fraction of less than 1% of medical research is devoted to understanding why we age. So without further ado, what causes aging on people? And what is the science behind it? There are two ways aging is triggered in our bodies. The first and most common way is because of telomere shortening. Telomeres are segments of non-coding DNA that protect the ends of our chromosomes, resulting in the protection of the actual coding DNA. Every time our cells divide, these telomeres get torn apart. Eventually, when they are completely gone, it leads to cell death. When skin cells die, wrinkles start to appear, hair pigment cells die causing hair to turn white, and immune system cells die causing sickness in people. More prevalent though, there is an enzyme called telomerase that regenerates these telomeres. The thing is that there are certain activities and lifestyle factors that suppress this enzyme activity. The second way why we age was theorized by David Sinclair. He says that mutagens, which are toxic chemicals, stick to our chromosomes, tearing apart the genetic information, and activating and suppressing genes.
When you activate genes that codes for a cell to transform into a liver cell, when it is actually in the brain, it is a real problem. That is what mutagens do.
What lifestyle factors causes aging? How can we prevent them? First, we are going to talk about stress. Molecular biologist Elizabeth Blackburn explains how when people are under stress, cortisol levels rise up, and if the stress is prolonged, the high hormone levels will eventually cause enzyme telomerase to be inhibited, preventing any telomere restoration. A study published in December 2004, by Elizabeth Blackburn and psychologist Elissa Apple, conducted 58 healthy premenopausal women in which were put on caregiving a child with a chronic condition causing them prolonged stress. After 4 years of the study, they came up with the conclusion chronic stress indeed played a huge role in the shortening of telomeres. The mothers under prolonged high stress resulted in a 55% more telomere deterioration than the low stress group. In the same way, the higher stress group had a significantly lower telomerase activity and higher oxidative stress the lower stress group. The mean telomerase activity, adjusted for BMI and age, was 48% lower in the high stress group. To clear things up, oxidative stress. What is it? Is the imbalance of molecules in your body causing them to chain react with other, leading up to cell aging and damaging. So how can you prevent stress? Negative thinkers usually see stressful situations as a threat spiking up that cortisol. Instead, think positively and see these situations as a challenge that you need to overcome. It will make you feel much better and banish the stress away. The second main factor of what lifestyle factors are causing you to age faster is overeating. Why do you feel sleepy after eating a huge lunch? Digestion takes a lot of energy from your body and especially from your cells, restricting them to carry out all metabolic functions. This causes waste to stay in your body, such as old proteins, which accumulate and lead to abnormalities on cell. The science behind this is that when you are on a caloric restriction, or any short-term stressors, your body activates these proteins called sirtuins or longevity genes. What they do is remove mutagens, which are toxic chemicals that are stuck to chromosomes, preventing them from damaging DNA. So what are the true powers of caloric restriction? A study conducted by the National Institute of Aging found that rhesus monkeys that were fed a calorie-restricted diet, which contained 30% fewer calories than a control group's diet, survived to about 3 to 5 years longer. Rhesus monkeys are vulnerable to many of the same diseases as humans, including cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Data from both studies showed fewer age-related health components, such as the type of physical lifestyle one carry out, whether people exercise or not, or even the type of exercises people take over can have rather a big or a small effect on their aging process. Józef Pilsudski conducted an experiment in which he recruited 72 sedentary adults, ranging from 18 to 80 years old, and assigned them to one of 3 workout programs: high-intensity interval training, strength training with weights, or a combined strength training and cycling plan. At the end of the study, the only group that biologically improved on mitochondrial performance on aerobic respiration and produce ATP more effectively was the group practicing high-intensity interval training. Improving on mitochondrial activity is essential to prevent aging. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, giving it the energy to carry out metabolic processes. The more energy is given out, the more processes will be finished, resulting in a more healthy and stable body. The fourth lifestyle factor that is aging you is excessive alcohol consumption. As people grow older, alcohol in the body starts to get metabolized at a slower rate. This causes the toxins to stay in one's bloodstream for a much longer period of time, making people vulnerable to harmful factors. A study published in the Journal of Epidemiology (EMP) Community Health found that people who drank excessively were 33% more likely to have age-related gray rings around the corneas of their eyes. That condition, called arcus senilis, doesn't typically occur until at least age 60. According to Carol Ann Goodman,
alcohol also causes blood vessels at the skin's surface to dilate. For intermittent drinkers, this causes temporary skin flushing. However, over time, the capillaries can dilate so much that they actually burst, creating visible red and purple veins, especially across the face and cheeks.
Also, the National Sleep Foundation reports that 20% of people actually use booze to fall asleep. This causes a reduction in REM sleep, causing heavy breathing for an overall inadequate sleep cycle, inducing to developing sleep deprivation. A study done by Dr. Elmo Barron evaluated 60 women, with half of them falling into the poor quality sleep category, and the others to a regular sleep cycle. Researchers found that those who went in sleep deprivation presented more signs of skin aging, including fine lines, uneven pigmentation, and reduced skin elasticity. The study also showed that those who enjoyed quality of sleep were more probable and quickly recovering from skin stressors such as sun and environmental toxins. It was also concluded that poor quality sleepers had more chance to be overweight. 22% of the good sleepers resulted in being overweight, while 44% of the poor sleeper were obese. Obesity causes aging because the increment in body fat results in a lack of insulin sensitivity, resulting in a buildup of oxidative stress and less telomerase activity. To wrap it all up, next time someone asks you about aging, you'll be fully informed. Also, next time, before complaining about your wrinkles, keep this 4 things in mind. See you later, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.